helping out so I can do the other rhythms? Who can tell? So I can depend on a few people here. Who's playing the Dumber there? Huh? In my back? Okay. Can you carry the rhythm? Because they're going to play it for you. So I'm doing other rhythm with the chorus. Or you can carry it with your Brazil. Follow hard. Follow hard. This is what we're going to be doing. Keep going. And the rest of you will do like Horus, Horus, Ra, 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 Hemenu, Hemenu. Another. Then you're going to say, another group will say, Chemenu, Chemenu, Chemenu. And you feel like you're flying like an eagle. Chemenu, 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 Chemenu. What's your name? Was that? Okay. So you carry that rhythm, and then follow you is a group of drummers. And then we have part of you going to say Horus, Horus, Ra, and then Chemenu, and then you actually become an eagle, try to fly into the wide space. And use Chemenu, like you get your body down and you fly up. And the movement, I'll show you the movement. And so when everybody's back, that's what you're going to do. Yeah, we'll go ahead? Okay. Because some drummer is here. All right, let's...
drummers to move up?
Sure. There's a lot of places here. Just don't cover up for the eye of the... Are they covering me up? They leave their window for me, right?
Okay, so look here.
Okay, we'll do the performance and then we'll talk about it, since we have people to practice here. So we have the people who are doing Horus, Horus Ra, and Khemenu, Khemenu. The movement of the body is really, it's like, and you fly out. And she's doing a motion, which is kind of a circular motion with the belly dance, because Horus will move around the sky. So the belly dance really reflects the whole circular motion of and he spits this way. And but those of you imagining Horus in any form, Horus, Horus, rock, you know, or and you fly out. And you fly out, you know. So get your body agile. Whatever form you want to fly. And Roseanne is doing the circular sky in which the sun and the moon moves around. The sun and the moon, and she's doing that. You see? She's doing that. The sun and the moon is Roseanne. And what you guys do? Oh, we have to find the cat. That's a whole ceremony by itself. Yeah, actually, there is a whole city called the City of Cat outside of town. Still there. It's called Buster. Tell me Buster. Buster. Yeah. The cat will be another ceremony. That's a big ceremony. Yeah, you're gonna have to. We have to travel for the cat. You gotta get up and move and search and create a very special thing. Yeah, the cat is very special. Okay, so who are the drummers? And who's Roseanne, okay? And then who's gonna do the Horus, Horus, Ra? Maybe group yourself, the Horus, Horus, Ra, people group yourself together. And who's going to do the Khemenu jump? You going to do that? Horus, Horus, Ra or Khemenu? So it's Horus, 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 Ra. 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 Okay, the other one is Khemenu, Khemenu, and jump. Khemenu, Khemenu, Khemenu. Reach up. Khemenu, 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 Khemenu. My knee is a little bit, but it's all right. That's why I have that.
We'll do the jumping.
Huh?
We'll do the jumping.
Okay. Get a bungee. Yeah. Get a bungee. Yeah, okay. And Rosanna's going to do the moon and the sun and the moon. Huh? You forgot what you were doing. Is that it? One I did more before, but follow her. Sun and the moon. Roseanne is the sun and the moon. And then the people are going to sing, oh, Horus, Horus, Ra. 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 Loud. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Keep doing it. Femenu, femenu, jump. Femenu, femenu, jump. Femenu, femenu, femenu. Femenu, 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 femenu. Femenu, 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 femenu. Go around. Femenu, 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 femenu. Fly, fly up in the sky. Fly, fly. Sun and the moon. Sun and the moon. Circle. Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Femenu, 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 femenu. Femenu, 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 femenu. Imagine yourself to be an eagle, a golden eagle, your feathers spreading, and you're flying in the sky, and you're seeing the sun and the moon. You're flying in the sky, in the horizon. Flying in the horizon. You could see the whole world, the whole universe. Starts from inside your heart, from down in the... Go from the chakra of the solar plexus to the heart, and from the heart to your throat, and sing, get out. Spread your wings, spread your wings. Get your wings up. Circle the sky. Go around the planet. Circle the sky. Go around the planet. You're flying, you're flying, you're flying, you're flying. planet, circle the planet. Horus, Horus, Hemenu, 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 Horus, Horus, Ulolam, Ulan, Ulan, Hayla, Hayya, Horus, Hemenu. Jump, menu, jump out, fly, jump, jump up, fly, let the wind take you, fly, sun, circle the moon, circle the sky, circle the moon, the sun, circle the moon. Oh, eh, oh, Horus, Horus, Ra, Horus, Ra. Jump out, jump. Reach for the sky. Jump out. Jump out. First jump. Jump out. Jump out. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Hemenu, 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 Hemenu. Hemenu, Hemenu, Horus, Horus, Ra. 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 Hemenu, 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 Hemenu. Hemenu, 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 Hemenu. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Ra. Yeah, fly, 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 fly. Horus, Horus, Ra. Hemenu, 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 Hemenu. Khemenu, 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 Horus, Horus, Ha. Oh. Now keep the vowel oh and sit down quietly. Oh. Breathe and keep doing oh. And feel your third eye. Oh, you feel all the horrors coming through your body. Oh, and you can see the universe. And you can circle the earth and you can circle the sky. You can fly. Fly with the falcon, with the golden eagle. You can fly. You can feel the wind in you. Your feathers are just floating with the wind, with shoe. Feel it inside and see, look with your third eye now. You can feel your third eye. Yeah, breathe from your base chakra, way back, way down, goes through your thing and rest in your heart and then see with your third eye. Go out with your third eye and then circle the sky, circle the earth. Examine the stars and the planets and just weave and float around. Become part of the universe. Become part of the universe. Take a deep breath and stay silent with yourself. Take a total silence. Be silent and feel what happened. Take all that happened inside of you and take a moment of silence. And then after you take a moment of silence, I'd like the contribution of people to speak, guide with their experience, those who would like to talk. And say the experience that you went through, that we all can benefit. Anybody would like to talk and just speak, so that we are all here. Yeah, the silence is so big and so encompassing. Thank you. Anyone would like to share an experience? Hmm? There was no talk. Yeah. Just going straight through. Yeah. You feel like going straight. Is that what you're feeling? Okay. Excuse me? You're driven. Okay. Yeah. Just going. Yeah. Okay. What did you feel, Alex? You said? Flying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like an eagle gliding on the wind.
Eagle gliding. That's the feeling.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah, it was a soaring.
Huh?
'Cause you felt your wings.
Effortless. Yeah.
You could see.
Effortless. Amazing. Effortless. Without any effort. Yeah, the wind was carrying. Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the bees, kind of vibration of the bees. Yeah, Horus. Again, the experience of Horus is very important because Horus, as we said before, he was an infant, vulnerable, and he's also the one that defended his father. You know, the story of the brother of Osiris was a very tricky guy, and he was very jealous of his brother, you know. These stories actually tells about human kind of greed, normal greed and energies. The story I'm going to tell is about how did Osiris actually resurrected. And understand from that we understand Horus, and we understand the crocodile. And so Osiris' brother he comes, he sees his brother, the great god. You know, this would show you how, you know, all gods are like you and me, you know, so you can tell, like a story we told before about the god having an affair with somebody else's god's wife, and then they had the chess game, right? So those stories tell that they are just like you and me, like humans doing things, and then they get entangled, but they still get the energy of the gods and they go above it, and they find that universe together. So it's a story of, so Set, which some people call the devil, there is no real, there's just positive and negative energies. And because Set is really the desert, so every time you have a green land, Set comes in and take it over. So Osiris is Greenland, and Set doesn't like it. So the wind, he calls to Shu, he said, blow on me a little bit. And Shu comes and blow him around. And then the desert comes, you know, every time you have a storm, like a hurricane or something, that's Set working, you know. He's coming in and taking all the good. So he's really coming in and making all these winds and jumping around and, you know, devastating everybody. But Osiris ignored him. And he said, hey, you know, I'm not going to take all that nonsense from you, brother. You know, and it shows that brothers could be jealous of each other. And so finally, he said, I'm going to get this man. I'm going to really go after him. So he started to be nice to Osiris, pat him, and say, oh, Osiris, you look so good. I love you. You know, he's playing games with him. And every time he sees Osiris, he flattered him and say how beautiful he looked. And then he started making this big box. And the box, he said, look how beautiful my box is, Osiris. You think it's big? You think you might fit into that box? Osiris, no, I don't think that's too small. So he makes it a little bigger. And then See, Set is a trickster, so he managed, he's going to trick God himself. He's going to trick the biggest Egyptian gods. So every time Osiris comes in there and comes to sit in that box, and he doesn't like it, and then he makes it bigger and bigger, and then one day, he's sort of being very nice to Osiris. He said, just try it out for me, Osiris, please, just let me see. So he goes in there and bang, he closes the box and tie it up and take the box and throw it in the river Nile. And the river carries it. And it goes to Byblos, all the way in the marshes. The Byblos is in Lebanon now, but the river Nile came out from the delta and almost, and now Isis, his wife, was devastated. She was so sad and so emotionally taken that she started crying. She never stopped crying. She's the Isis we sang for, mistress of mankind. She's the lover, she's the big woman, the mother. And Isis just cried and cried. She cried until actually she filled the river Nile with her tears. And the river Nile flooded all over the place, just from her tears. There was many tears coming from her, that the flood and the river and just going over the land. And she started searching for her brother, and they sent people. And so Horus got very mad, and he started running after Set. And he declared really hostility against Set, his father's brother. And Horus, the infant, who was vulnerable, became a very strong hawk. He's sometimes hawk or eagle, golden eagle, or a hawk, or a red-tailed eagle. And so he started with his vision. He knew what his father is. And he started attacking Set. And he was very vicious with Set. He wanted to demolish basically his uncle, And so finally, they found the box. But what happened is that Set, when he got him in the box, he cut the body of his brother into 14 pieces. And he threw his phallic out in the river, separated it. And his vitals were put into urns, separate, so nobody could find them. So the search was for the 14 pieces and for the phallic of Osiris and the urn, the thing that part of his body. So it took a painful situation. They collected the bones, they collected the arms and everything from Osiris. And because he was god of the moon had something to do with finding him. And now, finally Isis determined, with the help of 7 scorpions. The scorpions had very strong venom. And Isis, the mother goddess, had a lot of power. She was devastated. Set started after her son, just like he did with her husband. And she couldn't take that. And finally, she managed to collect the 14 pieces. And when they collected the 14 pieces, the moon shined totally, and it was a full moon, and finally Osiris was resurrected into a whole piece again. But the 7 scorpions, their names are Tefet, Befet, Mistit, Mastetet, Fatit, Patit, Ma'at, Tefin, Befet, Mistit, Mastetet, Fatit, Patit, Ma'at. Those are the 7 scorpions of Isis. And Isis had those 7 scorpions ready. Every time she got devastated like this, scorpions has a healing power and also has poison power. But she's always, followed by these 7 scorpions. So never challenge the 7 scorpions of Isis. So their names are Statit, Patit, Befin, Tefin, Mistit, Mastetit, Statit, Patit, Ma'atit. And you can actually chant it like Befin, Mefin, Mistit, Mastetit. Befin, Mefin, Mistita, Mustatif, Befin, okay, Tefin, excuse me, Befin, Mefin. I mean, I'm trying to teach it to you, and it's complicated. Okay, let's start with this. Tefin, Befin. And then Mistit, Mustatif. And those really has healing power. They have similar sign like the Reiki. The Reiki, they have Tefin has a certain sign, Befin has another sign, and Mistit has another. Those of you studying Reiki, which has a very powerful healing powers. So if you know the 7 scorpions of Isis, you could do a very good, you'd be a master of healing. You can add that to the Reiki. So, Tefin, Befin. Mistit, Mestatif. Thatit, Thatit, Patit, Ma'atit. You remember Ma'at, the goddess of balance. Ma'atit, Ma'atit. Tefin, Befin, Mistit, Mestatif. Thatit, Patit, Ma'atit. Tefin, Befin, Mistit, Mestatif. Thatit, Patit, Ma'atit. Tefin, Befin, Mistit, Mestatif. Thatit, Patit, Ma'atit. So she with those powers, she got the scorpions, they follow her, and she managed to attack, to help Horus attack. Now when Horus, when Isis became so demanding to abolish Set, now Horus doesn't like to defeat the enemy too much. In other words, once he wins, he doesn't want to overdo it. And the story goes that he even got mad at his mother, that his mother got out of balance because she was so much about her dead husband and collecting his body. She really was vicious now. I mean, she has all these energies. And she started getting Set, almost abolishing this supposedly evil man. And Horus, he said, "Mother, you can't do that. You can't really destroy a person you don't like, you know?" And she said, "Get out of my way." And then Isis had all the magic powers. So she came and told her son if he bothers her, she has the power, like she can get a rod and mix it into a snake or turn something into something else. She can change everything around her. She has the magic power to change any visible thing into something else. So she got involved with her son, and her son said, "You can't do that. You can't destroy the guy you don't like. You know, we defeated this man. Leave him alone." And she wouldn't do that, so Horus comes and cut his mother's head. And his mother's head falls down, and then immediately Tahuti, which is the power of the regeneration god, came running and put a cow's head on her and restored her head back. So all that shows you the dismantling and getting together again, you know, dismantling. So that's the story of Isis and Horus and Set with the mother, you know, the mother of this kind of challenge between the two brothers. And the end of it is that the moon has something to do with it. So every time you see the waxing and waning of the moon, you understand it's the festival of Osiris, because his body was dismantled when the moon was waning, was disappearing. And then when the moon started waxing, coming back to a full moon, his body's parts started being recollected and come back together and becoming really whole and resurrected. It's amazing. That festival is still celebrated today. And it's fantastic because it's celebrated as an Islamic festival. And I think it's only in Egypt they have that festival. It's called the 14 Days Festival, in which on the full moon, on the beginning of the moon, there is a ceremonial to celebrate the birth of the Prophet Muhammad. Actually, it looks very pagan. So people all over the country will collect dolls out of sugar. They make these dolls and frame them. They make these dolls, beautiful dolls. They stud them with little mirrors, with crepe, and they look like divine people in the time of the Prophet. Now, basically, in the religions of, well, Islam doesn't allow three-figure sculpture, you know, theoretically. But these are human, these are bodies. And storytellers all over the country will, during those 14 days, will tell stories about the divinity of people. And then, at the 14th days, everybody takes those dolls, crush them up and eat them. Excuse me. They eat the dolls. They become one with it. So it's really, it's the waning and waxing of the moon, the death and resurrection of Osiris. And it's still, it took a new form. It's still celebrated until today. So every time you see the moon coming up is when the body of Osiris is going to be disseminated, you know, spread, crushed. And then when the moon comes back, at the full moon, he's back alive again. And therefore, sometimes they call him God of the Moon. So, the stories have a lot of imagination to them, but the imagination tells about actually what we are about in our daily life, you know, the way we're thinking. So, that's how the story of Horus and the story of Osiris and Isis and the 7 scorpions came to be. And it's how that the 14 days, the waning and the waxing of the moon, and the celebration is still there. Anybody want to ask a question about that before we go singing some more? Yes?
Which month is it that festival is held?
It's the months of... it changes. See, the Islamic calendar is circulate every 11 months. It's 29 days to the month. So it's different every...
Which full moon, like the 13 full moons, which one of the 13 moons?
Excuse me?
Which one of the 13 moons is it? Like, is it the fourth full moon of the year or the fifth full moon of the year?
No, the full moon of every month. Of every...
Oh, it's done every month?
Every month. Yeah, but there is before the what they call Eid, which is the before the celebration when of the 4 days celebration of Ishmael. You know, it's sort of tied up when Ishmael was going to be killed by Abraham. See, they had the same thing, and then God shows a lamb, and then Abraham takes the lamb and kills the lamb instead of his son. You have the same story about Isaac and Ishmael, the same story. So he doesn't sacrifice his son. So this is the biggest celebration. It's called the 14 nights. Is before that feast, which changes because the moon changes, the cycle changes. Yeah, so much in common actually in wonderful things.
Are there gods that are considered lunar and solar?
Excuse me?
Do they consider certain gods to be associated with the different planets?
Oh yeah. So Horus is associated with the moon, with the sun and the moon, and Osiris, he's the moon. Yeah, there is a connection to each one.
What about the other planets that were visible?
Yeah, Cyrus is one of them. Sirius also has a God relationship, because Sirius is shown in the first time we became aware of it was in Mali, among the Dogon. The Dogon people of Mali were the first to identify Sirius, and they had no instruments to identify it with. Yeah, they identify Sirius. Sirius is all the planets are considered, especially with Horus. Horus because Horus circled the sky he goes beyond and touch upon the other planets, other solar systems. Hmm? The eye, yeah, the third eye.
Luke, that she would have her scale and she'd put the heart, the person's heart, the feather.
And the feather.
The heart was lighter, as light or lighter than the feather, then you would have to go to the.
Yeah, they go to the gates of the great joy. But if your heart is heavy, then you got blockages to undo. So they help you. That's when Anubis comes in, help you undo the blockages. You're not banished, or there is really no total hell. I mean, you're regenerated, yeah.
These stories that you're doing, chants, are these used just as stories, or are these ritually, or?
They've done both. They're like some of the Egyptian rituals somehow inspired people in different parts of the world. Sometimes it's inspired, Egyptians themselves will carry them out. Sometimes, like in Italy, in the 9th century Italy, 9th century, huge number of Italians used to come to Egypt for ceremony of Isis and Osiris. Actually, yeah, that's even during, it's amazing, one of the longest, Egyptian spirituality is being celebrated, ancient time, but during different periods, like about 600 BC, the Greeks regularly came to celebrate Ptah. Ptah is the Logos, is the God of words, They let there be light and there was light. And that's how Egypt was named by the word, Egypt's name is Ha-ga-Ptah, the shrine of the god Ptah. And the way the Greeks pronounce it is Ha-ga-ptos, and they added an S, it became Aegyptos. So the first, when Saint Mark came to Egypt, and he was talking the teachings of Jesus, they said, oh, it sounds like Ptah. That's what Ptah has been doing. We accept you. See, Egyptians are open to all religions when they come in. Anybody comes in is celebrated. So, when there was a change in the Coptic consciousness, the Christians, they became called Coptic. The word Coptic comes really from Aegyptos, the shrine of god Ptah. So the ones who were involved with Ptah accepted Jesus, the teaching of St. Mark. And there was a slight transformation. And they built a church in Alexandria in 42 AD, a physical church. It's probably the earliest known Christian church is in Alexandria. And was called the St. Mark. And when the Roman came in, they stole the relics of St. Mark and took it to San Marco in Italy. If you've been to Venice, because I was there, and it wasn't until, about 35 years ago, when the Patriarch of the Coptic Church demanded the return of the relics of St. Mark from San Marco to Egypt. So now the relics were stolen out of Egypt, ended up in Italy, now are returned, back to St. Mark. It's called, it's a big circle.
What did they return?
I think they were returned like 35 years ago or something like that.
Are all these practices, are any of them done like this in rituals, or are they all superimposed on this?
Well, okay, the rituals takes different form. The rituals are there. Like me and my wife, Deborah, were in Cairo, we were together when we first, maybe 15 years ago, we were down there I was showing her Cairo. And she's from Ohio, but we went there and we were standing in the central part of the marketplace, central Egypt, and then everything stopped. And in front of us, there was a procession that was moving for 2 miles procession. We were standing still. And I couldn't believe my eyes. It looked like the Sed festival of ancient Egypt. If you've seen picture of the Sed, you know the Sed festival? Because the Sed festival is the festival of the dedication of the land in front of all the gods of the world. So the pharaohs of Egypt will invite everybody who has a god. They invited all the gods from Mesopotamia, all the gods around Egypt outside, from Central Africa, from across in Mesopotamia, from the east, from the west, from the south, and they have shrines for them. And each one comes in and celebrate their own god. And the Egyptian pharaoh will come and measure the land, make a dedication, invoking all these gods. And the way they move in groups like clusters. So they have clusters with banners, decorated banners that they walk with, fabulous looking banners. Then they have a cluster of women who would do a kind of a moving dance that you get almost, it's a little bit like a Sufi. They go, like, they move like this, they move like this, and they move like this, like the ancient Egyptian pictures. And then a cluster of musicians playing drums and pipes and things like that. And then a cluster of people chanting. And another cluster with banners. And then mounted horsemen at the very end. Huge. And this whole thing just stops everything. And it was just unbelievable. I mean, she was standing there, we're standing there opening our eyes like ancient Egypt was in front of us. Now that was called, there are about 7 Sufi sects in Islam in Egypt. And some of the Sufi sects practice this celebration. And it's a kind of recreation so it's really done with their thing, but it's really, if you look at the pictures of set festivals, if you open a book, it was right the same in front of you. It was right the same in front of you. It's really incredible. So it is, in a way, practiced in a different way. There's a lot of ceremony of the women do, which are secret ceremonies, and high priestesses. If you are in Cairo, there are ones who are actually ritualistic and ones are presented almost touristically, so people can enjoy what they call it zar, which means visitation of the spirit. The visitation of the spirit, the ancient spirit. And that's, now zar is not only in Egypt, it goes all the way over the Nile Valley. I traced it. There was zar in Egypt, all over the Nile Valley, in north, central, south, into the Sudan, into Ethiopia, all the way to Zaire. There was zar, I sat in a women's celebration. Now, you have to ask permission from high priestess, because if you try to come in there, like once I tried to cover myself up, I was almost got beaten up by these women. These women are strong, I tell you that. I gotta run away from them. But I do my experiences by traveling around. I record a lot of music, and I want to experience the life. The way I travel, I experience one experience. So I went back home, and I said, gee, I'd like to. And the guy said, well, unless you're sick, you're not allowed in, because only women are allowed. Or a sick man, yeah. Then they do the healing on you, and you come out normal. I don't know, it'd be different. But if you're just walking there as a man, beaten up, they invoke different ancient spirits, and they get possessed. They fly. You could see these women. They could be 90 years old, and they're jumping like crazy, and their feet are running up, like elevated, elevated from the ground. You could see them above the ground with their feet going crazy. And the drums and the chanting, very powerful. And it happens all over the valley. It's really, But you have to have acceptance to get in. Some of them will do sacrifices with lamb or chicken. The chicken is a very, I don't know who's supposed to. Were you at the voodoo this morning? I was asking the chicken. Yes, chicken is very important because I have been to villages where the chicken were used, the vibration of the chicken bones were used to heal broken bones in human beings. There was a village I passed through outside of Cancan. Cancan is a high city in Guinea. On the way to Cancan, it used to be one of the trade routes. It's called KN. And I was on my traveling there, and the village was specialized, the whole villagers, in actually fixing broken bones. If you've got broken bones in your body, you go there. And you come out, your bones in place. And all they use is chicken.
You get a chicken dinner?
Huh?
You get a chicken dinner?
Yeah, you get chicken dinner too. The vibration, I think it's amazing. The chicken would be broken, they put it back together, and the guy would have a broken leg and he start walking. I mean, it's just really unbelievable. I mean, see, they work on the astral body. You got the physical body, the astral sphere. We have many bodies of us. That's why when we do what the chanting we do, we begin to experience other bodies of ourselves. When we're doing the Horus Ra, Chemen Nu, those sounds of Horus Ra open up those bodies. That's why we said in the beginning, it's important to unprogram yourself, and it takes steps to do that. Otherwise, you're automatically programmed.
Do you hear Horus Ra chant publicly?
Yeah, it's sure. Yeah, you hear them in certain areas. You hear them in the women's ceremony, and it takes different forms, what I'm saying. Like if you have it could be under a Christian setting, it could be under an Islamic setting, it could be under a Pharaonic setting, but since the religion changes, so this is Islam now, but it takes like the festival of Muhammad, the Prophet. So it takes different form. Like the Muslims who go to church. Now, why do they do that? I mean, it still happens. The Muslim women will fast and go to church for 10 days. And fast for 10 days. They fast, and then I think during the Assumption of Mary, there are more Muslim women in church than Christian women. Yeah, you want to ask something? Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's because there's not, I'm not familiar with the Muslim Christian, but I'm thinking there's not a real strong female presence there, and so they're going there for the female presence?
Well, no, because Mary is considered part of the matrix of Islamic. See, everybody here is a Muslim, if I could say that. Why? When Islam came, everybody who had a book, called them peoples of the book. The Hebrews had the Torah, Christians had the Bible, and therefore they are Muslims, because they submitted to the will of God, according to Islam. So when Islam came, everybody became a Muslim, automatically. You was considered Muslim. Muhammad, the Prophet, married 4 women. Each one was a different religion or pagan religion. Everybody had a different, and there was a very close connection between the early Muslims and the Hebrew philosophers. They were very close. I mean, their thoughts are very interrelated. And there's a lot of communication between the two. So they're considered, everybody is a Muslim, automatically. And the Negus of Ethiopia, when the people in Arabia were persecuted because they started a new religion, they crossed over to Ethiopia. And the Emperor Negus of Ethiopia housed them in, protected them, and they considered the Negus Muslim. But they were running away from persecution. You see, so if you start a new idea, and the beginning of Islam was like everybody is, and the word jihad was not holy war. It's only holy war, I think, after 1800. In the beginning was jihad means striving to share and be together. It's make an effort to share. So in the beginning, that's how Islam spread. Sharing the wealth and sharing the education. That's the, huh? Well, in a way it was, because the way it traveled, that's a good point, because the authority was in the big land, or the big Omar, and the family of the Prophet that followed through, where they became the big authority. But in the very beginning, it was, I don't know where I think the authority was shifting. Like sometime it was Baghdad, sometime was Cairo or Fustat, sometime was another part, city that shifted the authority, and one time was Turkey, so there was authority, but the whole concept in the beginning was the jihad was actually sharing, and the reason it spread is his wife, Khadija. Now, she was not a Muslim, she was a pagan who proposed to marry him. She asked him to marry her. And that tells you about women's position. She came to the Prophet and said, "Hey, Prophet Muhammad, would you marry me?" And she owned the trade routes. She was a very wealthy woman. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have to wrap it up.
Oh, really? I thought we just began. Really? Well, huh? Yeah, let's do Horus, Horus, Ra. Come on. Let's wrap it up. Horus, Horus, Ra. Horus, Horus, Ra. Let's start for Rose here. Roseanne. Come on, jump. I want the birds. Horus, Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Na. Horus, Horus Na. Oh, yeah, fly, fly. Circle the earth. Circle the planet. Circle the moon and the sky. Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Ra. Horus, Horus Ra. Khemenu, Khemenu, Khemenu. Khemenu, 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 Khemenu. Horus, Horus Ra. fly, 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 fly. We're going to get a minute of silence with O. Take the peace with you. Stay in that quietness of the peace. Thank you. Thank you.
When the world hears the beat of my drum, boom, 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 boom. When the world hears the beat of my drum, boom, 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 boom. Then the spirit of the gods will descend. Boom, 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 boom. Now. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You can tell in your soul, you can feel in your heart, you can see in your eyes, you can in your feet when you dance to the beat of my drum. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Last paragraph of the song. You want it the same everywhere you go. The sun and the rain, the moon and the stars, the ocean and the wave, the beast and the birds. Dance to the beat of my drum. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. When you walk at the beat of my drum. Boom, 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 boom. When you walk at the beat of my drum. Sing! Boom, 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 boom. And the spirit of the in your heart, you can see in your eyes, you can feel in your feet when you dance to the beat of my drum. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 and you all hear the beat of the drum. Boom, 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 boom. Then the spirit of the God with his hand. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Everywhere you go, in the sun and the rain, the moon and the stars, the ocean and the waves, the beast and the bird, dance to the beat of the drum. Boom, 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 I'm the drum, you are the drum, we're the drum. Come here. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you are the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. Yes! Yes! Doctor, Professor Halim, come on! At Kent State, the professor and I, we used to do an old number together, an old Egyptian folk thing, you know. I don't want to leave him behind there. Come and give the group, give us that thing we used to do together at Kent.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. This is a song from Upper Egyptian Nubian area, which invokes the invokes the divine source for brotherhood and invites everybody. And also it ties up the tradition between the Niger and the River Nile. So here we stand, the Niger River and the River Nile together. Okay. It's a simple thing. We have a little song, and it goes like, Hila, hila, Allah, hila, hila, Allah, hila, hila, Allah, hila, hila, Allah, hila, Allah, hila, 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 hila. Now other voices could be on top. Hila, hila, Allah, hila, hila, Allah. Okay. Hila, hila, Allah, hila, hila, Allah. Now we come something else. Now you do that, you do that about, let's say 5 times. Count 5 times, then there is a rhythm of the hand. In where I come from, they have a special way of clapping. So you have, the clap you're going to do has 3 sections. The first section is going to do that. The second section is, the third section is thump, wait, thump. Wait, no, remember, thump, wait, thump. Thump, wait, thump. Pause. Okay. Pause. Yeah, pause. So there's 3 sections to it. So we're going to do, after me, you're going to thump, thump. No, after me. After me. Pause, thump. Now.
Oh my God.
Thump, pause, thump, thump, thump. That's it. Okay. Now you're going to be on your own.
Yeah,
So-
try to put all those together.
All right. Now the women, they're going to do, they're going to sing with you. Now you do 5 times, then you do thump, and then 5. All right. Now he sings. Hela, hela, Allah, 5 times, and then Allah. Hela, hela, 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 Allah. Come. Hela, hela, Allah. 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 Yeah, they do the foot. Hela, hela. You have to do the hand and the foot and then clap. Yeah. Hela, hela. 5 times. Do the hand and then the foot and then sing again. Okay? Okay. Right. Hela, hela, Allah. 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 boat now. Keep going, keep going. I want the women to sing. La, la, it's women. Come on, women.
Make some noise!
The Niger and the river, the Niger and the Nile are together. Thank you.
Hi. Well, no, you stay here.
Okay.
I got a little bit of a surprise for Halim here. Halim has been coming to our events for years here. He's been a great joy to all of us at Starwood and Winter Star. And a lot of people know here that the people who put on Starwood and created ACE are called the Chameleon Club. We're all chameleons. Halim, I want you to be a chameleon.
Oh!
I'd like to give you a T-shirt for now.
All right, thanks. All right, thanks.
The secret decoder ring comes later.
Thank you, thank you.
This is the place, the house of empowerment. Yes. As we live here, we all shall remain strong and indestructible as steel. As you take a piece of steel and put it, on fire, then you are able to burn it all over in all kinds of shapes and forms, but it remains what? Strong, right? You know that. That's the way you're going to be and remain when we see you again. So we say, Ilere, this is the place, this is the time, this is the place of empowerment. So we send all our energies to all the places where people don't have the kind of freedom that you and I now enjoy. Freedom of choice. Put all our energies together and send it to all the hospitals to heal the sick. All this energy to all our leaders all over the world. You don't have to like them. But you got to do it so that they can do the right thing by you and I. Right? So this energy is important. So we say, Ilere, 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 Ogun. One more time. Ilere. Coming down. Ilere. Ogun Karanga, the strong one. Ogun Karanga, 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 ye. Let me hear that again. Ogun Karanga, 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 ye. Aya, ya, 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 ye. Karanga, Karanga, ye. One more time. Ogun Karanga, 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 ye. Aya, ya, 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 ye. Karanga, Karanga, ye. Ilere, 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 Sound of the valley. Ladies and gentlemen, Bagatunde, Olatunde. Make some Thank you very much. Dr. Professor Dan, thank you. All right. One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, drums of passion. Babatunde Olatunji. Ladies and gentlemen. You know what has to happen next, and you seem in the mood for it. You want to learn something to sing on the way? Very simple. I don't care if you do or not. Very simple. Very simple. Two lines. Power of the flame be within me. Tonight, tomorrow. Nope, wrong thing. Power of the flame be within me. Fire in my heart. Fire in my heart, power of the flame be within me. Fire in my heart, fire in my heart. Now you're going to keep singing that. You can keep singing it even now. Me, fire in my heart, fire in my heart. Power of the flame be within me. Fire in my heart. Come on, fire in my heart. Power of the flame be within me. Fire in my heart. Fire. Now some drummers will get up there and heat that up. We'll have something going. And you can line up behind the torchbearers, who ought to be about visible now. Listen, I don't have a big chair. I only have a little chair. I have a chair. Okay, good. I didn't have time to get that big chair together either. Line up, you humans, fire in my heart, fire in my heart. Power of the flame be within me. Fire in my heart, fire in my heart.